A massive thank you to all of our sponsors on the Suffolk Non-League show. Without their help and support this year, we would not have been able to have made the improvements that we have done to the show. Other than sponsoring one of our local sides, Grunsborough in the SIL, GBS are a family-run construction company in Ipswich operating nationwide with over 30 years experience in fire protection, diamond drilling, commercial building, health and safety and asbestos removal. Starling and Lock, a self-employed electrician since 1989 offering domestic work and certificates for people buying and selling houses, an NIC EIC member based in the Stowmarket, Suffolk area. All of the branding that you see on the Suffolk Non-League show comes from these guys at Matchday Marketing. They are a sports marketing and branding company helping enhance the image and profile of grassroots football and non-league clubs at a very low cost, utilising over 20 plus years in the game. All of the merchandise that is available with the Suffolk Non-League show has come from these guys at Your Shirts. They offer eye-catching, professional-looking garments for your business, team, club or organisation. They offer a range of printing methods to cover all individual costs. Doesn't matter if it's text, images or anything else that you require to look unique and stand out from the competition. These guys are creating our website and they can do the same for you. Clabber Creative are an agency based in Framlingham, Suffolk, offering fully managed football club websites. They are about giving your club a professional look, feel and ongoing support to maintain the site. Alpha Surveys, providing topographical and measured building surveys throughout East Anglia. If you are in need of quality surveys on any home improvements, contact Alpha Surveys on Instagram. Links for all of these companies will be in the description below. Go and check them out and tell them that DeeJam has sent you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to the Suffolk Non-League show. And as you can see, I'm on my own. It feels very, very strange to not have the big man next to me for tonight's show. Sadly, for those of you who haven't seen the announcement on Twitter, Adam is not feeling well at the moment. He has been trying his hardest over the weekend to get himself match fit, but has unfortunately failed a late fitness test. So it is just going to be myself flying solo, rather. There we go. There's the first mistake of the evening. And we are good to go. I hope everyone is doing well. It has been a brilliant weekend of football over the whole, over the whole of East Anglia. For those of you who haven't seen, we not only covered the one, but two matches this weekend. We were at the Norfolk Senior Cup final, and we were also at the Senior Cup final, semi-final for Suffolk. Both matchday experiences and interviews from all of the shows are up on the channel. So after tonight's show, if you haven't checked them out, make sure you go and watch those videos. They were absolutely superb. And a special thank you to Norfolk FA. I've said it on Twitter. I'll say it again. They were absolutely superb with myself and Adam on the evening. So yeah, we are good to go. Loads of you already piling into the chat, I can see, which is absolutely brilliant. Ben is already here. Good evening, mate. Hope you're doing well. Shem, evening, gents. Hope you're well. Glad I didn't place a bet on last weekend's cup game. Some incredible results. You were not kidding, my man. You were not kidding. Part of the clip, for those of you who haven't seen the Bilderson interview with Bart after the game, part of last week's show was played to the Bilderson players before their game, and they used it as motivation to get themselves all fired up and ready for this weekend, for their weekend's game, and it worked. So fair play to you lot. You said that Ipswich Wanderers would be in the final, and it spurred Bilderson on. I'm not going to say anything. That's down to you guys and Adam, which is probably why he's not here. That's the real reason Adam's not here. He's ducking and diving out of it. He knows. He knows. Hannah's here. Evening, Hannah. Hope you are well. Hope you're both well. Currently at my dad's, so I can't miss this show. Hopefully some coaching tips from the guests tonight. Always looking forward to learn. Yes, we're going to have Guy on in just a few moments. to talk about the news from Haverhill Borough. Really looking forward to chatting with him. Maverick UK, hello everyone. Matchday Marketing, get your kit requests in. If you haven't done so already, let Matchday know what kits you want to see at the end, and we will try and get something sorted out for that. Jack, evening gents, get well soon. Adam, yes, echo that. Get well soon. Lake and Heath, there you go. There's the first team on the board. Lake and Heath, let's get a second one in. Shem, you've got this, James. Get well soon. Adam Bilderston, well done to them. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Evening all from James Redmond. Good evening. Cracking game between Lake and Heath and Fram on Saturday. Lake and Heath could do well in the furlough Prem. Joe, when we talk about that in a little bit more depth, if you're still around, mate, would love to hear from you. I'd love to get a bit of a match report as to what happened during that game. So let me know, and I'll try and refer back to it later on. James Bluefield, evening, mate. Hope you're doing well. Adam, bottled it. Well, yeah, probably. I'm sure he is ill. I'm sure he is, but we'll figure that out later on. Evening, ladies and gents. Bilderston, there you go. So we've got the two kits, Bilderston, and we have Lake and Heath. So there are two teams involved, which coincidentally both teams are in the final. I don't know if that's on your guys' minds. Comedy Gold this weekend. Yes, I've heard about your exploits this weekend. So loads of already calling. Keep your comments coming in. But I think it is time to bring on our first guest, or our guest rather, for tonight's show. I want to get Guy straight in because I appreciate his time at the moment is very precious. So I want to bring him in straight away. Let's not give him too much of an intro. But here he is, the main man himself. Guy is in the building. How are you doing, my man? You good?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad for flying solo, but there we go. There we go. It's been a crazy week for you. Before we kind of get into the nitty gritties of everything and what's happened, how are you feeling now that the dust has settled a little bit? I can imagine it's been quite an emotional week.
Yeah. I think it didn't kick in with us until we'd spoke to the players.
Yeah.
I think then it started to feel like it was confirmed. So
yeah,
it's been strange.
So for those who haven't seen the news, obviously we talked about it on last Thursday night show, actually, about the restructure that has been going on in non-league football. One of the, let's call it, casualties has been the fact that Haverhill Borough, along with other clubs in our area from Step 6, have been moved from the North Division to the South. And Haverhill Borough came out with this statement talking about it. So they have said that they are extremely disappointed that following the FA League restructure that our first team manager, Guy, has decided to step away from his position at the club. The club understand the predicament Guy was placed in when the FA restructure was announced earlier this week, and ultimately due to your location, the extra commitment required within the league, including travelling, recruitment, as well as other duties, understand totally that continuing in the position for Guy would simply not be feasible. The football club will now spend the next few days discussing the vacant position, plans for pre-season, and looking forward to it. They follow that up by saying that they have enormous respect for yourself. You've shown amazing work ethic, true professionalism, and a great understanding of local football and our community. I fully expect to see Guy back in football instantly, as the values and qualities he possesses will be an asset to any club. The situation for Haverhill was even more frustrating given the fact that we didn't expect any change within the league restructure, and Guy had nearly completed his pre-season planning in anticipation for the new season ahead. So from that, you guys really didn't know that this was coming. From the statement has said it there. It come as a bit of a shock to you. It's quite clear from what clubs have been putting out on their social medias at the moment. There wasn't a huge amount of consultation from the FA about this. When did you kind of first get any sort of idea that this was happening? Was it when it was initially announced?
It was literally when I came out of work on Tuesday afternoon. I know in the last couple of seasons it had been mooted and just vaguely discussed that there was a possibility it might happen. And then leading up to last Tuesday, everybody was waiting to see what the restructure would look like. But we just probably didn't envisage ourselves being included in that. And like I said, I came out of work at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, and I had a message from the club saying we probably need to have a chat, and you probably need to sit down.
Right, Christ, wow.
So
That's incredible. So that was on the Tuesday. So when did you then meet with the club? Did you say it was the following day? Or was it the Thursday? I can't quite remember what you put.
we spoke to the club. I spoke to the club again on Tuesday, quite a bit. We spoke again on Wednesday, and then the Ipswich Wanderers relocation happened. I spoke to the club again and said, look, should we just see how this pans out? Like, did we envisage a change in it? We discussed whether there was an appeal to be made. I think that there was questions asked, and I think an answer that we got was sort of the league that Haverhill are going to be in is not actually a problem if you're Haverhill based or around Haverhill, but because I'm not in Haverhill and I'm closer to I'm closer to the Ely area, it's more of a problem to me than it is the club itself.
Yeah, right. So the decision was made. Was it a joint decision or was it purely yourself that kind of said, look, it's not going to be for me. I can't, where I am with my life, I can't commit to what the club is going to have to do. Because as you say, the club could quite easily appeal the decision and go back into the north as it was beforehand. But did you just feel that the decision for the overall club was the right thing to do?
Yeah, I think so. Like when I'd spoke to the club, they'd said to me, like, we'll back you if you decide that you want to continue with it. Then we'll try and do what we need to do to make sure that it runs efficiently and runs the way that you want it to.
Right.
I think their concern was that if I committed to it now, and we had any problems or difficulties, then if you get into November time, then it becomes difficult if it's not working.
Yeah. I just want to get a few comments up on the screen here. Maverick has put, just shows how much consultation was done by the FA. Seriously is appalling. All the surveys the FA have done on COVID, yet not a lot on the restructure. Dan Snell has put, loads more appeals this week are going through. The FA do what they want, though. It does seem to be a bit of a shame that, like I said, from a club's perspective, there's been next to nothing, like, you know, in terms of what communication they've had. It seems like a lot of people have been kind of left in the dark about it, and they're now expected to pick up the pieces. It's a bit, I don't know, from an outside perspective, it's a bit strange, don't you think?
Yeah. Like I know it's different for everybody, but like I said, I do believe that for the club itself, the league restructured not too bad in terms of like the travelling distances. I know there's been bits on Twitter and people are talking about Leaston reserves having to make like a 140-mile trip for a game. Well, there's certainly nothing in the realms of that for Haverhill Borough. Obviously, the M25 and M11 can add minutes and hours to your journey sometimes.
So obviously then obviously you've then made that decision, to leave the club. I suppose really, obviously we've kind of briefly talked about it. Was it difficult to do that? Because
100%. Like the statement said, we'd finalised planning after the Suffolk Cup finished for us. Started speaking to players. We were confident of bringing in some good players, and it was just, I don't know. The biggest concern for me, I wasn't concerned about travelling for myself. The biggest concern was if I needed to recruit in the middle of the season, with me living in Ely and the way that I've recruited in the past, most of our recruitment has been done from Ely to Haverhill. But I just felt that with the restructure, the recruitment was going to need to be from Haverhill up to Essex, London area.
Right.
And I wasn't, with me being out here, I just wasn't convinced that I'd be able to do that if I needed to do it.
Right. Okay. No, that's absolutely fair enough on that part. Dan has put, loads more appeals going through. Ben, I'm in Soham, so near you, guy, and Haverhill is a trek. It's been poor planning by the FA. Well, it's difficult because obviously they look at things from a map perspective. They don't go into the nitty gritties and the individual side of things from club to club, do they? They just try and work out who works in what position, and they just kind of pick and move and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's difficult. I can get, obviously, if clubs go through the necessary appeal process, then I suppose if they are successful in putting through an appeal, then we'll see if the right outcome then comes through. It's then, if that appeal is then rejected, it's then, well, why was it rejected? I think that's where some clubs are potentially, the FA can then come into a little bit of criticism. At the moment, it's a bit.
I think the reality for Borough is that the league that they've come out of doesn't look like the league they come out of anymore. So if they were to appeal it and now go back into that league, they're going to have to do Blackstones, they're going to have to do Bournemouth, they're going to have to do Parsons Drove, and the league they're in now doesn't have them kind of journeys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so, this is exactly
There kind of is no going back if you try and go back.
Yeah. So moving forward now with yourself, has your phone been ringing off the hook with any sort of inquiries? Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to name any sort of potential moves, etc. But has your phone been quite busy since the announcement?
It's been reasonable. It's been reasonable.
Yeah. Are you kind of desperate to get back into football again? Because I suppose
a couple of people I spoke to were like, "Are you going to have a break now?" And I was like, "Well, I've just had a break for the best part of the year."
Well, yeah, true.
So we're desperate to get back in and get being part of it again.
Right. Okay. Because I was going to say, obviously, I suppose from your perspective, you've been planning for the whole. You've been planning for the start of next season. You've kind of had your mind solely focused on what's going on with Haverhill to have this news come out of the blue. I didn't know whether or not there was any sort of reflection that you maybe wanted to take, or are you just you're at that point now where a year's a year, and I just want to get back out there anyway.
I really have. I've been reflecting and that kind of thing for a year anyway, looking at where we can improve. Whoever does get the job at Haverhill Borough has got a pre-season program all lined up for them. So
yeah,
that's good for them. And it's also being fair to myself as well. If I do want to be back in football, then I have to give myself the best opportunity. And that means if I'm not going to be at Borough, then I have to be out there now showing that I'm available, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ben has asked a question on here. He said, I'm guessing, I think Youngie is a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Is a great friend of mine due to college, and even better goalkeeper than people say. His save against Trimley shows how great of a goalkeeper he is. He put, how good is Youngie as a goalkeeper? How highly do you rate him?
He's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
He don't talk himself up at all. He's the calmest guy in the changing room. He's always the calmest.
Yeah.
He will go a long way in football.
Ben, I can't seriously expect Guy to answer this question. Would you sign any of the Haverhill players when you join a new club? That's a loaded question, Ben. Jesus Christ. You're just asking for trouble with that one. Let's just briefly talk about the club that you have left. How much are you going to miss that place? How much of your life has that kind of taken up?
A lot of it. I think that part of that is due to the way that I am as a coach and as a manager, though, that if I'm in something, then I'm always working and I don't really stop.
Right.
Much to my wife's displeasure with it, I will constantly be looking to see what we can do, whether that be on a training pitch or recruitment or whatever. So I will miss it. And the lads as well. It was really difficult. I didn't enjoy this, the second season, the season just gone, because we didn't have the opportunity to have the changing rooms, the bar, all of the things that make football for me. In the first year, we had all of that, and we were a really strong group. We felt that we'd keep that group together, but football's football, and it didn't work out like that at the time. So we ended up having to put a whole new team together virtually, and that was tough. And it was even tougher just because we couldn't do the social side of it.
Yeah. And what about the people behind the scenes? Obviously, the people who don't necessarily get the full praise and attention that they deserve. The people who kind of make sure that everything is all run from day to day. How good have they been with you?
Yeah, it's always been. I think when I spoke to the club and spoke to Pete over there, he said that it's not very often that managers leave clubs like on the terms that I've left there. Like I want them to do well. I'd like them to get a new manager in as soon as possible, and I'd like it to settle as quick as it can for them.
Yeah.
You can guarantee I'll be over there pre-season watching a game at some point.
Good man. Ben has asked a question. Any tips for a young coach like myself? If you could give any words of advice, what would your kind of tips be?
Understand that when you're training, when you do your training sessions, it's never going to be perfect.
Right.
Just keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you become. When you always reflect, so after your training sessions, write some notes down, but always make sure that you leave a balance of positive and negative notes. Because I'm the worst person as a coach. If we've just done a session, I'll look for 15 negative things, but very rarely will I actually look at the session and try and balance it out. So always look at positives and negatives in your session.
Like that. Oh, there we go. Would Guy drop down a step to manage a team? Is that something you would potentially look to explore?
I wouldn't rule anything out. I've obviously come from step 7 where I was doing Cambridge City Reserves. I think I'm ambitious and I'd like to manage and coach at the highest level possible. And much of that is about recruitment and knowing players. And I think for me, it's important to be coaching and managing at the highest level, just so you know those players and you know those names. And like I said, I wouldn't rule it out stepping down, but we'll see.
I suppose really from that side of it, it has to be. It's not necessarily maybe about what level the club is at. It's about the actual club itself and what kind of things are presented to you, what opportunity you see in front of you. Because if it's a club that is very much, no, this is our league, we're happy where we are, and there's no real progression for it, it's like, well, what can I achieve and what can I get out of it? It has to suit you, doesn't it? It's not necessarily maybe about taking a job at a lower level. It's got to be something to aim and to go for, I would imagine.
Yeah. I've worked my way through with football, so I've worked in youth football up through under 18s and stuff. I wouldn't rule it ever going back into youth football even with that, but
yeah, definitely. Well, Guy, look, I know your time is a bit short and precious at the moment, so I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Like I said, it's a shame that it's had to happen this way, but I for some reason I can't imagine you're going to be the last person, sadly, in our area to have to make this decision moving forward. I suppose what would be your advice to anybody who's contemplating any of these sort of decisions? I suppose it's really what is best for you and your family, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, you. I don't know. I just think that you have to give it time, as much time as you can give it before you make that decision.
Yeah,
I think football is always changing. Anybody that manages and plays at that, at the level that we're at, knows that players will move clubs and managers will move clubs, and there can be a variety of different reasons for that. But you have to do what's right for you at the end of the day, I think. As hard as that can be sometimes, if you get emotionally attached to clubs and stuff easily, like I do.
Yeah, definitely. Shem's suggestion: buy a helicopter. I'm not really sure what.
I'll have a word with Pete, see if he'll get me one.
Brilliant. Look, guys, honestly, I really appreciate your time this evening. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully, we'll get you on the show at another time once you've found yourself a new club, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail.
Okay, top man.
Brilliant. Appreciate your time, mate. Thanks for coming on. Cheers.
Okay, thank you, mate. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye. Well, that was Guy, former manager of Haverhill Borough. So yeah, it was a really good chat. That I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, I know I appreciate Guy's time was really, really precious this evening. So I appreciate him coming on and talking about that. Let's also bring up let's talk about the potential or the restructure that is going on, etc. We obviously talked about the news recently that Ipswich decided to move from the Furlough None North into the Furlough None South, and they said that they were going to be bringing out a statement for the restructure. And just to let you know, this is the statement that they made. So the restructure and announcement of club allocations for the Furlough None North would have meant that our club would be required to play against many new teams in our current league as far away as Peterborough and Lincolnshire. This is simply not feasible for a club like ours playing at step 6 level with a round trip travelling times in excess of 5 hours on multiple occasions. Like many Suffolk clubs at this level, we have been used to the odd long journey, but in the past, we've been able to mitigate this by the fact that 8 or 9 teams of our other away fixtures were versus Suffolk sides and local to us. With one Suffolk club being granted promotion and 3 other clubs moving sideways, we were left with just 4 away fixtures requiring less than an hour travel time due to our venue of the proposed new season. We appreciate the restructure is complicated. They go on to talk about is adversely affecting step 6 in our region, with now journey times close to 2,500 miles for the season. In Div 1 North, we would have been required to do 50% more travelling than the previous season in pure mileage terms, but in reality and in timing sense, given the nature of Norfolk and Suffolk and Cambridgeshire road systems, this would have doubled. Go on to talk about the locality, etc. Division 1 South has a lot of travelling time as well, but the journey times are less and via direct road networks. There are many other fixtures that fall consistently within a tolerable round travel time for the club. The league was undersubscribed and has an available place, and we are very grateful for the league and their support. So what I want to know from you guys is on this matter, do you agree with the decision that Ipswich Wanderers have taken? Having spoken to a couple of people at the club over the course of this weekend, they feel that this is the right decision for them. I'd love to get your thoughts on this in the comment section at the moment. So we've got Shem, who's put up on here. I said on Thursday it's been a smart move by Wanderers, and to be honest, based on kind of what they've said, in particular in this part here, that with many clubs now experiencing journey times close to 2,500 miles for the season, in Div 1 North, we would have been required to do 50% more travelling than the previous season. It's kind of hard to really argue with the point that they're kind of putting across, because some of the travelling that they were going to be having to do moving forward, it's it doesn't really look appealing into going into or staying rather in the Furlough None North. But again, would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on that, guys, in the comment section. Smart move by them. They will manage to keep a lot of their players and look to recruit easier, I think, says Ben. Again, probably have to agree with that one, mate. So get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. So right, let's move on there. So let's talk about this weekend's fixtures. So there was a lot of games going on this weekend, and for me personally, it was very, very enjoyable to get out to as many games as we possibly could. Myself and Adam went over to Norwich and the Football Development Centre for the Friday night game, which was between Galston and Mulbarton, which was a brilliant, brilliant matchday experience. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time up there. And then Saturday saw us come back to Suffolk, and we went over to Claydon to do the matchday experience there. Just a couple of your other thoughts on here. Reasonably sound logic from Wanderers, says Maverick, and Jack Owen. Completely understandable. Huge loss to Div 1 North, and a lot of the restructure made sense, but that league seems to be a bit of a mess now with travelling times. It certainly is a bit of a mess, mate. So let's have a look at the fixtures that happened over the course of this weekend. Again, if you were at any of these games this weekend, I'd love to hear what your thoughts and opinions on were for each game. If you want to come on the show and also talk about it, I'm going to be putting in the link to come onto the show if you want to give your thoughts on it. The link is The link is now going into the chat. If you want to come on and discuss any games that you were at, would love to hear from you. Ben, were you at the Vets game yesterday? No, I had a day off yesterday with the live show Thursday, with a match day experience Friday, which resulted in me editing till 3 a.m. in the morning. Then the game on Saturday, which again had me editing till 12 o'clock at night. And then tonight's live show, I thought I'd give myself a break yesterday. So I had a day with the family. So no, I didn't see the Vets game, although I know that there are plenty of highlights circulating around on YouTube of them, or on social medias rather. So yeah, I know that there have been plenty of fixtures and stuff like that, and highlights rather, that are going on at the moment. So yeah, so here are the fixtures or the results rather, for this weekend. So obviously the game I was at was the Bilderson versus Ipswich Wanderers match, in which we saw Bilderson win 2-0. Now, if you haven't seen the highlights for this game, it was very much, I'm just going to bring myself back onto the screen here whilst I talk about it. It was very much, the first 20 minutes or so was Ipswich coming out of the traps and really kind of playing Bilderson at their own game. It was very high press, very high energy. They were really trying to close people down, etc. Bilderson gradually got their way back into the game and kind of found themselves on a bit of a level playing field. And then the goal then happens where it's direct from a corner. I'm not really sure what was going on. I don't think there was anybody at the near post, having watched the highlights back. It was a very, very bizarre way to score a goal. So you kind of think, well, it's happened once. It can't possibly happen again. Literally straight away in the second half, the goal then happens again. It comes from a left-footed player this time. He swings a corner in and it goes directly in. And it just really, really bizarre. So what then happens is that I'm expecting Ipswich to go full throttle, really trying to take the game to Bilderson and put some pressure on them. But Bilderson, fair play to them, absolute fair play to them. Every tackle, every block, every header, every second ball, they were in on it. They wanted it so much more. And in the end, won the game 2-0. And yeah, last two games, they've kept clean sheets in. So they've been so impressive. They've been so impressive. So they won their game 2-0 and booked their place in the final. And we saw Lakenheath win 4-1 against Framlingham. So yeah, fair play to Bilderson, says Jack. Will be cracking final. Lakenheath will have to be the absolute best. I think a lot of people have underestimated Bilderson for quite a long time. And every time they come up with an answer and prove people wrong. Look, Lakenheath are a very, very good outfit. And there's a reason why they're moving into step 5. But it's going to be a very, very tight game. And I think it's very similar to what I said about Ipswich Wanderers match. If Bilderson can keep it 0-0 for at least the first 20 minutes, half an hour or so, then it could go any way. My big concern, and it always will be, is if Bilderson concede early, what then happens? Can they keep up that mental resilience that they have done in their 2 games prior to that? That's what I don't know about, and I've yet to see, because I said they've gone ahead and they've ended up winning both of their games. So, So if anybody was at the Lakenheath game, please let me know what happened during that match. I'd love to get your thoughts and opinions on it. This is a comment about the FA on there. Just shows the gap between the SIO and Furlough None isn't as big as most thinks. 2 great footballing sides on show, and it was great to see. Bilderson have shown that anything is possible. I'm back in Lakenheath just so Bart can use this in their team talk. There you go, Shem. Absolutely superb, mate. So for those of you who are interested in going to the final, the game is taking place on Bank Holiday Monday. It is a 12 p.m. kickoff. So for those of you who haven't seen, there are 2 games taking place at the same location. So Haverhill Rovers are hosting the match. As I said, the first one, which is the Senior Cup, is at 12 o'clock. Tickets are available on the SuffolkFA.com website. So make sure you go over there if you want to guarantee your slot, because this is going to be booked up really quickly. If you want to guarantee yourself a ticket there, I've already sorted myself out, so I will 100% be there. unless anything major happens. But yes, I will be there. I've got myself all sorted out. Make sure you book your tickets in early because it is going to be a brilliant, brilliant game of football. Ben, my heart says Bilderston, but my head says Lakenheath. It will be tight and Charlie will have to be at his best. I wonder if the Suffolk Non-League Show team tour will carry on to the final by Bilderston. Great booking by Suffolk FA. Love a double header. Got my tickets yesterday. Good man. Got my ticket for the final, says James. I love this. I can't wait to see as many of you there as is possible. Going to be hard, says Nathan, but we will be ready. I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Dan Snell. Irv was the star of the show at the Stowe Upton Sporting game. 99% correct decisions once he was in the correct half of the pitch. I heard about this. If Irv is in the building, please let us know what was going on there, mate. Explain why you were in the wrong half of the pitch. But let's talk about the Junior Cup, Ben. So here are the the results that happened over this weekend. So we saw Mutford and Rentham beat Brandon Town 3-2 in what on paper looks to be a very good game. I'm not too sure on which way this went. I'd have to look back on my social medias to try and find out which way the game swung at certain points. But yeah, Mutford ended up winning 3-2. And the shock result, which I got absolutely pelted for on Saturday night, I can assure you, I got absolutely torn to pieces for this one because the favourites in my eyes, Sporting 87, were knocked out by Stowe Falcons. Absolutely incredible. 2-1 victory for Falcons. Again, if you were at either of these games, let me know what the overall game was like. Let me know how you saw what happened during the course of the game. I'd love to be able to get all of your thoughts and opinions on it. So what does that now mean? Well, it means it's a Mutford versus Stowe Falcons final in which there will be a new winner for the first time. Neither of these teams have won the Junior Cup. So we will have a new name etched onto the trophy. Will it be Mutford? Will it be Stowe Falcons? We will find out again. Bank Holiday Monday. The fixture is at 3 p.m. Again, being played at Haverhill Rovers. And again, tickets are available for that game as well. If you want to get yourself to this one, please make sure you get a ticket booked. I can't stress it enough. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think. I'm just going to go onto the Suffolk FA's website to confirm this. I don't think tickets will be. Only those with tickets will be permitted entry to the ground. There will be no facility to pay cash on arrival. So you have to get your tickets booked up nice and early for this one. So yeah, make sure you do it. Let's get some of your comments up on the screen here because I know a lot of you are already there. James, Mutford went 3-0 up. So Brandon had a bit of a comeback there. Love it. Keep saying Mutford, top side. They have the potential to keep climbing the lead, says Jack. Double header match day experience on Monday 31st. Yeah, I don't really know how I'm going to do this. I don't really know what the plan is, but I'm hoping that, again, if I just bring myself back up on the screen here, I'm hoping that Haverhill are going to allow me somewhere where I can possibly do some editing during the day. That because there's going to be a gap between the first and the second game, hopefully I can at least take my laptop along with me, do some editing during the first and the second game, so it doesn't leave myself a massive amount of work to do. Because with myself being back at work on the Tuesday, I've got to get everything done on the Monday night, which will be very, very difficult. So, spoiler: there won't be a Suffolk Non-League show next Monday because I just simply have got 2 games to edit. There's absolutely no way I can get the editing done and be able to do a live show. We'll rethink about the logistics of that side of it. But yeah, I'm hopeful that there is somewhere that I can edit. We shall see. But the plan, my kind of thought process at the moment is if I can get one done, then maybe do the Senior Cup highlights the same evening and then get the Junior Cup out the next day. I'm not sure. I'll have to try and figure it out as the day goes on and kind of announce more as we go on. So yeah, Let's get some more of your comments up on the screen here. Never saw this at all. Fair play to both Stow Upland and to Mutford. Another close final. I hope Falcons win it, says Shem. Come on, Stow, says Ben. Dan, Falcons were the better side and deserve to win. It should be a very good final. James Redmond, Anglian Com versus SIL final. Things you love to see, eh? Things you love to see. Might have to convince my dad to come. Shem, make sure you take a phone charger. Jesus Christ. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I said it's gonna be all the camera equipment in terms of all the editing stuff's gonna have to be charged up. The phone's gonna have to be charged up. The laptop's gonna have to be charged up. As I said, hopefully I can have some sort of facilities there to be able to do some stuff. If not, it's going to be a mad dash home after the 3 p.m. game to edit as much as we possibly can. Absolutely brilliant. Sim23, hope you enjoyed our song. Yes, I haven't said this, but Stowe Falcons, when they were on their night out celebrating, sent me a lovely song, reminding me of my predictions. So, yeah, fair play to you lot. Absolutely love you. I thoroughly enjoyed that video. It was absolutely brilliant. Speak to Peter, facilities manager at Haverhill. Dan, good shout, my man. I will make sure you DM me after tonight's show. Just DM me that name and I'll make sure I contact them and see what we can try and sort out. Gareth Mutford are a very good side, officiated there. Brilliant. Love that, my man. I did see your comment up on here. I am referee for the Primary Cup final on Saturday, Walsham versus Laxfield being played at Old Newton, and that leads perfectly onto other action this weekend. So to let everybody know, if you are wanting to get yourself over to a game or two this weekend, the Suffolk Primary Cup has 2 fixtures which are going on this weekend. So we've got Walsham Le Willows versus Laxfield, and we've also got Whitehorse versus Bromford United. So I'm just going to bring up the fixtures from the website and let you know where both of those games are being played at. So yeah, as Gareth quite rightly said, Walsham versus Laxfield is being played at Old Newton's ground, and we've also got the Whitehorse versus Bromford game being played at Claydon. So 2 very, very good facilities for both of these games. Again, if you want to get yourself over to either of those, make sure you book your tickets in advance. I can't stress it enough. With everything that's going on, you need to make sure you get your ticket for these games. So if you want to get yourself over to them, as I say, go over to Suffolk FA's website. Make sure you get your tickets booked in on that one. Is that Walsham's first team? No, that is their B team, Joe. That's their B team. Christ, if their first team turned up, bloody hell, I dread to think what the score would be. But yeah, Joe, that is their B team. That's their B team. Yeah, I hope not. Are Clare Town out? I'm devastated. What happened to Clare Town? Let's just bring back my results. Where do they go out? Oh yeah, they fielded an ineligible player, didn't they? Which is why Stowe Falcons got put through to the quarterfinals. Just checking. So Clare Town actually fielded, I think it was an ineligible player. So Stowe Falcons reserves got put back in to the quarterfinals, and they lost this weekend actually to Whitehorse 2-0, which is why it's a Whitehorse versus Bromford semi-final clutch. Kits are in. Good man. We'll bring them up on the screen in just a moment. I can't wait to show it. Claire broke the rules, says Shem. Couldn't keep a clean sheet, could Claire? Naughty. Ben, love it, my man, love it. So yeah, plenty of action going on this weekend over those courses. Is there any reserve cup? I'm pretty sure there is happening this weekend. Let me just bring up. The semi-final. The semi-finals were played this weekend actually. Framlingham versus Beccles was 2-2. Let me just bring myself back up on the screen here. See, this is the thing. This is the thing with only having myself here. I'm having to kind of man this, man that, man everything. So yeah, Framlingham versus Beccles, it was 2-2. And it looks like Beccles won 5-3 on penalties after 90 minutes. So Beccles Town reserves are going to be playing against Woodbridge Town reserves, who beat Trimley Red Devils 2-1. Not any information about, there might be an announcement on their website, on Suffolk FA's website, about where that game is going to be played. Let's just see if there is anything. There we go. So Beccles versus Woodbridge Reserves is at Bungay this Saturday. So this Saturday, 2:30 kickoff. If you want to get yourself down, it's the same time as the Walsham Willows versus Laxfield game, which is going on. So plenty of action this weekend. In fact, let me just bring this up on my screen. What am I doing? Let's just share this on my screen. It'll be a lot easier. This is based on the Suffolk FA's website. So yeah, action this weekend is going on. So we've got this Thursday, there's the under-18s Cup final between Leyson and Sudbury, which is taking place at Needham. Then on Saturday, as I said, we have got 3 games which are going on. So you've got the Reserve Cup final between Beccles and Woodbridge. You've then got the 2 semi-final games which are going on in the Primary Cup. And then on Sunday, there is the Sunday Cup final between Kitchener and AFC Burgolt. Whew, what a game. What a game on paper that could be. Needham Market versus Ipswich Town in the Women's Cup final as well. So if you're after a game on Sunday, there's 2 games. If to be honest, you can actually get yourself down to both if you played it well, because they're both at Sudbury. So if you want to stick around for the Women's Cup final at 5:00, then you could potentially watch 2 games of football in the same day, as you can with the games that are going on at Haverhill Rovers for the Suffolk Senior Cup and the Junior Cup. So plenty of action. Again, all of the rules that you need to have here. Again, only tickets available upon entry to the ground. There is no facility to pay cash on arrival. Claire never liked a semi. Jesus Christ. Trimley Red Devils Reserve versus Woodbury Reserve was a very good game, very close indeed. Ipswich ladies won 24-0 at the weekend. Jesus Christ. Get to the kitch gate. Look, Ben, if I try and propose that to my missus and say, right, not only have I got 2 games to go to on Monday, I'm now going to go to a Sunday one as well. A divorce might be on the cards, or potentially I might not be around for the Monday. But yeah, playoff final, more important. Well, yeah, there is that you could potentially do as well. So yeah, they are all of the fixtures that are going on this weekend. Again, plenty of action for you guys to get along to. So many games that are happening this weekend. This is the final round of games that are happening other than the Primary Cup final. So if you do want to get yourself to a game this weekend, as I said, there's not going to be much more football that are going on in the county before next season. If you want to get yourself to a game, now is your opportunity to do so. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the action. So we're going to round off tonight's show with the 2 kit concepts which have been done. Take it with you. No, because that involves also taking my son, and he won't stay quiet and he won't stay still for very long. It's not worth the aggro, mate. It's really not worth the aggro. So as Matchday Marketing says, kits are in. Let's finish tonight's show. It's going to be a very short one, as I said, because there's no Adam here, and because of Guy, and unfortunately he couldn't stick around for too long. But we totally appreciate that. His time is very precious at the moment. Tonight's show is going to be under the hour mark. But let's round off tonight's show by showing you the 2 the 2 kits that have been sent in to us. If there's any questions you want to ask me before we disappear, feel like you can get them in. So here we go. This is the Lakenheath kit. Oh, I love it. As some like green is. As green is my favorite color, I'm loving this kit. We need to get these kits made. As I said, what I want to do is have a whole room full of these concept kits that have been made, and I'm hoping that some of these are going to go into production, which I think some of them are. So yeah, if they are, I'm 100% buying it, especially that Debenham one, which was just absolutely class. A bit like taking Adam. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Jack. Yeah, definitely, 100%. Love that kit, says James Redmond. Plymouth vibes are going on there. Very Hibs, reminds me of Plymouth. Yeah, Plymouth Hibs. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, absolutely love that. Yeah, it just looks very, very classy, doesn't it? Very, very good kits on there. And then the final one we have. Oh, this is Builderston. Look at that, lads. Get on that. Oh, that's nice. That's really, really nice. I really like that. That's good. Which one are people preferring? Are we preferring the Builderston one or are we preferring the Lake and Heath? I quite like this. This is a bit of a different style, a bit of a different concept to the checker one. But yeah, I really, really like that. Every time the kits get dropped, gets a title, get a title going only kits. Love that, Stu. Get these kits for the final. Builderston for me, says Ben. Builderston says Shem. Builderston kit from Paul says a superb. Lake and Heath win with the kits, but will they win the final? That's the big question. I'll tell you what, actually, before we disappear, get your predictions in for the two finals that are going on this weekend. I want to know what you guys think. What is going to happen this weekend? So just as a reminder, get your predictions in, not only for the final of the Senior Cup between Builderson and Lakenheath, but get your predictions in for the Mutford versus Stowe Falcons game. Let me know what you think the scores are going to be in both games. We'll see if anybody gets any of these right. But so yeah, Builderson kit is getting a lot of love. We'll make sure we get both of the clubs tagged in these, and we'll see if we can get either one of these made. But that is really, really nice. I have to admit, I do like that. I do really, really do like that. So evening, old Dan. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, no worries, mate. Tonight's one is going to be a lot shorter than normal, so you'll probably have to watch this one back on the replay. To be honest with you, mate, as you can see, it's just myself for the moment. No Adam, he's not feeling well at the moment. So tonight's show is going to be a lot shorter than the normal. Dan will tell you all about it. So we've got our first prediction in: Builderston 1, Lakenheath 0. So Paul is going for not only a Builderston win, but he's also going for Builderston to keep a clean sheet. Which, look, that's a good prediction. That's a very, very good prediction. However, as somebody who's recording the game, I want lots of goals flying in. I want defensive mistakes. I want there to be like a 2-2 draw, a 3-3, and then it goes to penalties. That's what I want. That's ideally what I want. But yeah, I to be fair, that's a pretty good prediction there. Shem 2-1 Lakenheath and Stowe Falcons to win on penalties after a 3-3 draw. Jesus, what? Wow! If that comes true, Shem, then fair play. Then absolutely bloody fair play. Jack Owen, plenty of goals in both games, I reckon. Builderson 2, Lakenheath 3. Mutford 4, Stowe Town 2. Jesus. Wow. If either of those happen, I've got a lot of editing on my hands, and you might have both games on Tuesday. That's all I'll say on that one. Builderson 2-2, says Ben. Builderson to win on penalties. Stowe 3-1 and Kitch to win 4-0. So Ben's dropping some Sunday predictions in there as well. Simo 3-1 to Falcons. Love that, mate. I'm guessing you're scoring the hat trick, right? If are you? I don't even know. I'm guessing you're playing, but don't reveal tactics too early, mate. But yeah, how many are you going to bag? How many are you going to bag? Everyone look out on Saturday for the Caister custom kit launch. Yes, make sure you do. Check out the launch video is very, very impressive. But yeah, make sure you keep an eye on Caister's social medias over the weekend. 1-0 Builderson, says Simo. Bart's with an overhead kick. That would probably sum up what has gone on this season, wouldn't it? But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Bart from Bilderson, because how that boy keeps playing through the injuries that he's got at the moment, I have absolutely no idea. He is going above and beyond for that team to make sure that they can push themselves over the line. He is doing unbelievably well. So fair play to him. Dan, what a result for Bilderson and what a day for Claydon. Yes, it was really good to see you there on Saturday, Dan. It was really, really good catching up. I know we didn't get an awful lot of chance to chat and really talk. But yeah, it was good. It was good seeing you. Really, really was. Paul Kitson says 6-5 to Bilderson. There you go. That's more like it. Let's get those in. Simo to get booked, says Shem. Probably. Probably. Simo will bag all 4. What's an own goal included? Love that. Comedy gold from Irv on Saturday, Dan Barnard. Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, as Super 6, I know somebody did mention a moment ago, that side of things is all down to Adam putting in the hard work and graft on that one. So it's down, that kind of thing is down to him to sort out. Obviously, with him being unwell, he hasn't been able to have the opportunity to do it. I don't know what we're going to be doing moving forward, because obviously we're now at that point of May where there's not really many fixtures going out. I think what we'll probably have to do is try and see if there's any way in which we can get a final one done. If we can't, the league tables will be as they are, and we'll figure out some prizes for people, as we go on. But keep your eyes peeled throughout the month of June. We will be announcing all of the winners for various different bits and pieces that we've done throughout the season, and we'll try and give out some overall sort of reward and prize for a number of people who have entered throughout the season. And again, just a massive thank you from everyone who has done that as well. So yeah, I think what we'll do, a repeat of last season's final. Ryan Johnson, evening lads. Yes, yeah, just myself this evening, mate. As I said, we're gonna have to cut this one short because it's just myself. Just this one will be available the moment we click end broadcast. So yeah, you can rewatch this one back just to kind of go through some of the stuff. We had Guy from a former manager from Haverhill Borough on the show tonight, who gave us some time this evening. So yeah, if you want to rewatch that one back, please do so once the show has finished. So yeah, we're gonna bring things to a close. As said, it was just because of the way things have fallen tonight. But I really appreciate everybody who has joined me this evening. As always, though, I do just want to give a big shout out before we disappear, as a way of saying thank you to everyone who has continued to support the show on Ko-fi. We have now got new members joining up all the time over there. And thank you to our latest one, which is Jack, who's in the comment section right now. Thank you for your recent donation, mate. Really does mean a lot. And again, from a Patreon perspective, I can't thank you guys enough. We have now up to 22 people who have signed up to Patreon. The latest member is Chris Perkins. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined up to Patreon. It's a monthly amount that you can put in towards the show. You can cancel at any point. But what you guys have been able to do this season has really, really helped us and has really pushed us on to a new level. And as I said, I can't honestly thank you enough for what you guys are continuing to do for the show. In fact, I will show you one of the improvements that we've been able to make. This is gonna look so odd. But this is the new equipment that I'm using for all of our interviews. So this doesn't look like anything, but honestly, trust me, if you've been watching the past 2 match day experiences and the interviews that we've been doing, the sound quality on this is insane. And thanks to you guys and all of our sponsors that happen with the show, we continually make improvements to the show on a regular basis. And this is just one of them that has been done. This has improved the audio on the on the interviews so much, and with this, I mean, it looks like a hamster, but that goes over the top of it to make sure that no wind and stuff like that gets into it. Because I know I find it incredibly frustrating when I'm listening back to my interviews, and the audio is absolutely god awful because of wind. Wind has got into it, interference and stuff like that. So yeah. As I said, the sound has gone up a level on the interviews that we do now. So yeah, it's those kind of things that, as I said, all of these Ko-fi donations that people are putting in, all of those one-off donations that people do, and all of the monthly ones, and all of you guys who continue to put money in towards the show, all of your stuff gets reinvested back into it. So I really, really cannot thank you enough for what you've done, because next season we've got a brand new camera coming for the matchday experience. There's going to be a proper HD camera. So no longer going to be using the phone to record games. We've actually got an official camera with a proper stand, a proper microphone. Everything is going up in terms of quality for next season. So we can't wait. We seriously cannot wait to give you so much better quality footage for what we're doing. But again, that all comes from you guys. So really, absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. Yeah. So just massive thank you. Dan Barnard, did it get wet on Saturday, James, from the beer of Bilderson? No, it didn't. It was absolutely nothing. Nothing touched it, which I don't honestly know how. Saw it in the flesh on Friday night. Nice bit of kit, especially as it was pretty loud around the interview, but still heard the lads perfectly. That is exactly what we mean. It's exactly what we mean. So yeah, that's going to bring tonight's show to a close. Thank you so much for you guys who have been here tonight, supported the show throughout the year. I'm not sure when the next one we're going to do, because obviously with the bank holiday coming up, I've got the 2 games I'm going to. So I think maybe we might reschedule it for the following Thursday, just to kind of bring the season to a close. And then we'll keep going on from every Monday. I'm not sure. Need to speak to Adam, but we'll finalize all of those details and we will let you all know. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has been watching tonight's video. Remember, make sure you give the video a thumbs up before you leave tonight. Make sure you do that before you click away from the video. And again, if you've missed any of the highlights, any of the matchday experiences, any of the interviews, in particular the Bilderson interview with Bar, make sure you watch that before you go to bed this evening. Absolutely brilliant from the Bilderson lads, and the way they interrupted that interview was absolutely superb. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I will see you all very, very shortly. It's been really, really good fun, and thank you so much for helping me get through tonight's show. It really, really does mean the world. I will see all of you who are at the game this Monday coming up. If you're at the senior, if you're at the junior, or if you're at both, make sure you come over and say hello. It really would mean the world to speak to as many of you as I possibly can on what will be the final matchday experiences of the season. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you all very, very soon. Adios, everyone.